Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. There have been a few big screen adaptations of Stephen King's novel Pet Sematary since its release in 1983. And now we're going back even further into the history of the town of Ludlow with Pet Sematary Bloodlines. It will be streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus, and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. The character of Judd Crandall has been previously played by Fred Gwynne and John Lithgow. Pet Sematary Bloodlines goes back to Ludlow, May 1969, and now features Judd as a 20-something, now played by Jackson White. We see him and his girlfriend hoping to move out of the cursed town to join the Peace Corps. Now they're stopped on the way out after hitting a bird and noticing the neighbor dog disheveled on the street. Now these strange and bloody occurrences start happening after Judd's friend Timmy Baterman, who's played by Jack Mulhern, returns home from the Vietnam War. There's something severely off with Timmy, leading Jack down a rabbit hole of town secrets. The film also stars Henry Thomas and Samantha Mathis as Judd's parents, and David Duchovny as Timmy's dad. Stephen King adaptations are a really hot commodity right now, whether it's fresh new adaptations from his books like Dr. Sleep, remakes like It, or a prequel of sorts like Pet Sematary Bloodlines. Bloodlines takes its premise from just a chapter of King's original book, where Judd details the death and possible resurrection of his friend Timmy Baterman in the burial ground. Now this chapter is then fleshed out here by director Lindsay Anderson Beer, who co-wrote the film with Jeff Bueller. Now they've changed the setting from World War II to the Vietnam War to just better align with the remake's timeline. I think that there's a desire for audiences to learn more about villains, curses, etc., but that analysis can detract from the mystery at hand at the core of Judd's story. There's an eeriness when something like that can't be solved or remains folklore. And unfortunately, the screenplay can't muster a rich enough story to explore all that it's trying to say. You can make an argument that it's trying to explore PTSD from war, or even the mindset of feeling trapped in your small hometown. Young Judd's story isn't the only backstory here, as he is told the town's origin story with its founding families and the intent of the Pet Sematary. Now that feels like a story worth exploring versus young Judd's story. There seems to be a reliance on just sticking to King's written word, instead of using it to then catapult a larger backstory. King writes rich characters and takes his time to tell a story. This film takes the easy way out, trying to give the audience jump scares and creepy characters instead of asking, what would Stephen King do? And what's worse to me is that even the jump scares don't really land, as the film is so poorly lit. Keeping night scenes as dark as possible is kind of a common mistake I find in the horror genre, and the result is that you can't see what's actually happening on screen. I could barely make out some of the more intense sequences, like the climax, as it was just so darkly shot. Henry Thomas, David Duchovny, and even Pam Grier should have elevated the material, but they can't muster a steady drive with a heightened, melodramatic state that's set too early on in the film. Now, Isabelle Starr LeBlanc is one of the only highlights in the young cast, as she's the only bright light in the small town of Ludlow. A movie like Pet Sematary Bloodlines is frustrating, as you can see the right pieces there, but it's not coming together like it should. I'm giving Pet Sematary Bloodlines 2 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have some other movie reviews, including a documentary called King on Screen for any Stephen King fans out there. Paul's Trip to the Movies is brought to you by Popped Corn. If you want to watch Pet Sematary Bloodlines on Paramount Plus, or maybe some of the other Pet Sematary movies, have some popcorn on hand. Follow them on social media at PopcornMN. You can place an online order through their website, or just stop in the store, try some samples. I know you're going to love it at PopcornMN. Paul's Trip to the Movies is also brought to you by Imagine Theaters. There's some other really great horror movies in theaters right now, like The Exorcist Believer. So if you go to Imagine Theaters, follow them on social media at ImagineMN. And tickets are on sale for my movie series, Paul McGuire Grimes presents. Coming up October 22nd is Zodiac, right in time for spooky season. November is the big chill, and then we're going to close out the year in December with the Judy Garland classic, Meet Me in St. Louis. Tickets are now on sale. Follow them, like I said, on social media at ImagineMN. I'm going to be doing a talk back after each screening. I would love to see you there. Get tickets before they sell out. Thank you so much for watching my review of Pet Sematary Bloodlines. This is Paul's trip to the movies.